Hey friends, welcome to day 2 of our vlog of making an album in 5 days. Sander, how was your day yesterday? How were your impressions?
Yeah, I thought it was a good start. We worked pretty quickly, got some nice sounds together, so I thought it was a pretty smooth beginning.
You? So this is where we got to at the end of the second day. We recorded a lot of guitars and things like that today, so we didn't get quite as far as we were hoping to do 2 tracks today, but we've done this one and I think we're both quite happy with it. Yeah, so let's do the sequence. Act now.
So, reporting back, can say it's been a pretty productive day. We've been in the studio for quite a few hours. We recorded guitars, we recorded a lot of synths, and Eric put down the sequence, and he's kind of doing some refinements now, which you can see behind me. So how do you approach that, Eric, when you've kind of done a rough sequence? We're happy with it, but we heard some things that we want to adjust, right?
Yeah, like if I really miss the one on a kick or a snare or if something was mixed poorly, I'll fix it. But at this stage, since we have the wonderful Camille, hola Camille, a really great singer that we're super happy, we reached out to her yesterday if she was interested in joining us on this project. So she's going to be singing for us in Argentina. So right now this track is in a state where it's a nice sequence. Surely it has some defects, but it's a good foundation for her to be able to do some vocal tracks on it. So we're going to send her this as is. It's not perfect. She's anyway going to add some stuff that's going to influence us again, where we're going to end up changing this. So in this iterative way of making music, we're going to send it to her as a rough sketch. She can sing on it. When we get her vocals, then we're going to do all the details. That's the plan.
Awesome. So yeah, we had a great day here, and more tomorrow.
So I realized today I didn't do a particularly good job of showing some step-by-steps of the things that we did to get to that track. And also I wanted to maybe give you a little bit more of a real-world view on how we've adapted the Rapid Flow template for a slightly more complex workflow. Alright, so what you're seeing on screen here now is the Infinity bundle, obviously on Ableton. So if you come a bit closer, maybe, I don't know if you can read that, but you can see now it's kick, bass, toms, snare, melodic component of the track, harmonic, a lead, and noise stuff. The little mixer is mostly dedicated with percussions, which would be things like hi-hats, shakers. So these four faders are basically hi-hat up, hi-hat open, hi-hat 16. And then a shaker. We can influence the length of the hi-hat open with the decay button, which is a standard function in the Rapid Flow template. And I have an extra dedicated fader set up for Paul X stretch, which is right here. If you don't know that plugin, it's amazing, it's free. Please do support the people making it. But yeah, you can drop any kind of audio clip in there and stretch it. Right now we're running something here that's stretched to 50 times its original length. And it just adds such a great granular texture to anything you're doing. Something new that I've been experimenting with that's actually very nice. Every one of the main elements at the beginning of the template, so like the core stuff that makes up the track, has a plugin on it now that has the possibility to lower a high cut filter. So we're removing the high frequencies, and I've assigned these rotary encoders that in Ableton normally are flexible. You click on a plugin, it takes them, can be kind of cool, but actually now basically these are just low pass filters for all the core components of the track. So let me show you what that allows me to do. Just another way to have more control over how the track is flowing. So I just wanted to show you the plugin that we're using on every one of the first 8 channels of the Rapid Flow template, which is in our case Console 1. And the reason why I like to use this plugin is because it kind of contains everything you need to process a channel, but I use very little. I only use the high cut. So as you can see here, I can take the high cut with this one controller that I've set up here, in this case of the kick. And then I use the sidechain function on the plugin often. But because the Softube Console 1 combines so many useful functions for performance, I choose to use that. So that's also an extension of the Rapid Flow template that I wanted to show you for more advanced use. It's not yet on the actual version on the shop. But it will be in the V2, I think, for sure, because it's very, very useful. And then we have a dedicated fader, the master. We're not using it the way we normally do in the Rapid Flow template to do a low cut on the kick and bass. This is dedicated to Loop Cloud. because from time to time when we need something quickly just to make progress, we're pulling in samples off of Loop Cloud, which if you've watched my channel, it's a great tool because it's in sync and in tune. You can preview samples through Ableton, know exactly what they're going to sound like. You can buy them, copy paste them into Ableton. So that is a dedicated fader because obviously there's a lot of loudness differences in Loop Cloud, and this makes it possible to monitor stuff without blowing up your ears. That is what we've been using. I was saying to Sander before that I realized, actually kind of had the recognition that how fast it was to compose because we didn't have to look for snares and hi-hats and toms and claps and anything because it's all there. That was the whole idea of making the Infinity Bundle. So we were able to get through this really quickly. The only stuff that we had to really build from scratch was the melodic things, which we used the Prophet 5 for, we used the OB6 for, we used quite a lot of the Vermona yesterday. Let me show you what that sounds like, because that actually became, I think, really the sound that, yeah, took this track over the top. So the last step, as you know, is to record our sequence in real time, which is the huge time saver. So